Hello, hello, my beautiful lovelies. Welcome back to yet another pick a card reading here on the channel. Welcome to You Pick a Cards here on Thursday evening. We do this every Thursday. In the community tab, I always post a poll on the video that we'll be doing Thursdays. Today, we are tapping into messages for from your higher self. Okay, so we really want to tap into like, what do we need to know? What do we need to discuss today? Okay, what does our higher self want to tell us in order to step into expansion, into growth, into glow up energy? Okay, the energy that we are needing right now. Okay, so we're about to tap into that. I do want to mention that we are doing $20 readings, you guys. $20 readings are back. I do this a few times a year, just to, for the collective. I know not everybody has the funds to, for the luxury tarot readings. Tarot readings are a luxury, and not everybody can afford them. So I do this a few times a year, just for those that want to see how I read, or that are people that are really needing guidance right now. Okay, so check out the Stand Store. That is where I'm booking them. This is a limited time. This will not be something that will be open. So get it while it's open. Okay, $20 readings on Stand Store. It's in the description box. Also, for my YouTube family, I have created a promo code for you guys, just for you guys, my YouTube watchers, my YouTube family. Rosebuds for $35 off anything on the Etsy. So this is where the full length readings are. If you want to book with me a full length reading, this is where you would do it, on the Etsy. Okay, and you could use this code for anything that is on the Etsy, because I also have spells and rituals, and I do spell work there as well. So you can use this code to get $35, not 35%, but $35 off. Okay, now let's get into this reading. Higher messages from our higher self. Here is the card selection. Okay, messages from your higher self. We're going to tap into it. Go ahead and zone in on the picture that resonates with you. Okay, but be sure to check out the description box. I'm going to start shuffling. Be sure to check out the description box for all those things, you guys. $20 readings and the Etsy. Also, I will be getting back into the book club eventually. Okay, the book clubs are also linked down below in the description box. The GoFundMe for the tarot deck is also down there as well. Okay, if you want to support. But here it is. Tap in to the picture that is resonating with you. We're about to get into number one. Doing a little bit of shuffling. Messages from your higher self. You see the comments here. I'm being pulled by second, but also the third, so I'm confused, but I choose the third. Hi, guys. All right, just shuffling, you guys. We're about to get into number one. Tap into higher self messages. What do we need to know? What do we need to discuss, become aware of in order to step into expansion, step into growth? Okay. Should I do charms? Oh, no. Okay, the decks are ready. The cards are falling. They are ready. Let's go. Let's get into number one. Okay. Number one. All right. This is number one. Messages from your higher self. Number one. Let's tap in. All right. Wow. Okay. There is a need. The first message that is coming forward is that you could be a little bit distracted here. Okay. And these distractions are kind of hindering you from blooming. It's hindering you from blooming into a rose, you know, like something that is special. So I don't know if you guys are watering down your energy, you know, just interesting here. But there's distractions here. There, you feel kind of like pulled away from yourself. That's what I'm feeling here. I know we're like zoning in on this one image. You know, the background is making us really focus, but it's also making me feel like you're not able to focus inward right now because of these distractions. Your current surroundings, they're kind of disorienting. I'm also picking up on somebody else's feelings. So maybe the way somebody else feels or what you think how they would feel is kind of like hindering you, preventing you. It's like preventing. It's almost like, okay, so that's a really interesting word that I just said, prevention, preventing you from doing something, preventing you from, you know, maybe expressing, even like I'm just picking up on behaviors. So your higher self wants to talk about these distractions and how possibly you are tuning into how other people are thinking, how other people are feeling about a situation or about you. And this is kind of preventing you from stepping into yourself. And I want to say prevent. And when we think about the word prevention, preventing something, it's like, when we use that word, it is used to make sure that something doesn't happen. So do you feel me? You get where I'm going? Like, so this makes me feel like somebody is either doing something, saying something, expressing, behaving in such a way. This is your outer influences, okay? Somebody is doing something, saying something to prevent you from stepping in to your potential, possibly. And this is really about blooming. When we see a flower and it's open, it's bloomed, it's like it's directed at the sun, at the solar energy, success. The sun is also represents the self. So there, it's almost like it's preventing you from being yourself, preventing you from stepping into success. Okay, so we're gonna go deeper. Let's look at the cards because that's all that I'm really. Oops, that's all I'm picking up. But let's tap into some messages from the tarot. Higher self messages. Okay. Let's see what comes out. Okay, Five of Swords, Nine of Pentacles. Three of Wands. Yeah, that's that expansion that I'm like, you know, my intention for this reading is to help us step into, to go beyond where we are today, okay? Where we've been. Okay. So, number one, there has been some type of conflict. Right here in the middle is the Five of Swords here. There's been some type of conflict. There could have been words shared. There could be a need to want to go back and forth, a need to discuss something, to argue something, to get on the same page. This usually depicts somebody or, you know, a few people, usually 2 to 3 people, maybe even more than that, that are trying to get on the same page, but it's like more of a verbal, and it's a serious matter. It's more than the Five of Wands. It's more of like a serious matter. It's like not seeing eye to eye, not agreeing, very argumentative kind of energy. So this is the distraction that I was feeling. It's like in your outer influence, you know, it's outside of you. This could be even just other people's drama. Okay, this could be other people's conflicts that you are focusing more on versus focusing on your own internal world and external world. Okay, but this could also be some type of conflict between you and a person, you and a group of people. And this is kind of distracting you from stepping into your growth. And we see it here in the Nine of Pentacles, stepping into your fruits. Okay, the fruits of your labor. So you could have, you know, the message from your higher self is that you need to just walk away from this situation. Yeah, the Five of Swords, when this comes out, we want to argue our point of view. We want to get our point across to these people. We want to come to a common ground words are being said, people are getting offended, their feelings are getting hurt. There's no understanding, and actually communication, arguments, that's only like just creating more chaos within the situation. The advice for this card that comes with this card is to actually walk away. To just walk away from this shit, because it's not you continuing to put your point of view to try to explain, defend yourself, you know, and in that you will be the victor. The message from your higher self is that you walking away from this situation, you will be the victor. Don't think that, you know, and it is a bittersweet, because walking away, you have to leave with, oh, you know, there's something unresolved. There's something like, I didn't really get my point across here. They don't understand me. You know, it's bitter in that way. But the sweetness comes that you've said everything that you needed to say. You don't regret anything. You know, there is a sense of feeling that you are not wrong here, that you are the right one. And I also feel like stepping away from this is going to bring more abundance into your life. You know, we were talking about success, on how these distractions, these influences outside of you is kind of distracting you from the self and ultimately stepping into something that you want success in. Okay, whether that be a job, whether that be your health, whether that be a relationship, actually walking away from conflict, whether this is like a conflict that you're involved in or other people's drama, other people's business, walking away from it is actually going to help you expand more. It's blocking you. Honestly, this conflict is blocking you. This very argumentative person, you know, I feel like the more that you fight, the more that this person feels like they're winning. And the moment that you just put your swords down and you walk away and you decide not to communicate anymore, because you've already communicated your point of view, you've already discussed what you're going to do, you've already discussed what you meant, how you feel, what you want to happen, you've already done all of that. And walking away from it, I think, you know, it really puts you in a place of winning. Okay. I'm also getting like, you know, maybe you do really want to take people on with you to go on this journey, because you're like a part of your success, a part of like where your higher self is trying to take you. There's abundance here. There's more than enough there. Okay. And there's a discovery of self, a like true growth here with the Three of Wands. This is about going beyond, like traveling overseas. So, you know, travel can be involved in like these physical experiences that we find to be successful, or it can just be like a journey through discovering yourself more deeply, you know, and getting to know yourself more. You know, and I feel that maybe you want to take these people with you. You want to be in this abundance with these people, but they're actually the people that are preventing it. If you really take a closer look, your higher self wants to say, if you take a closer look at, you know, like the bigger picture here, because the Three of Wands often talks about that, like looking at the bigger picture here, you would see that success and going where you're meant to go, these people don't vibrate at the frequency that where you're going operates. Okay. You would see that these people have sabotaged themselves. They have sabotaged you, you know, and so you could use that as inspiration, motivation, clarity to really let go of this and walk away and just, you know, have acceptance that people are going to misunderstand you. They're not going to agree with you. You know, I think the more that you fight and you try to get, it's like, you know, I don't know how well you guys can see this, but this person is on his knees and there's just swords coming at this person, and there's the person that's holding the swords, you know, and they're all coming at you. The more that you fight, these people, this person, this situation feels superior. Okay. It's almost like, I was saying, preventing, right? Preventing you from stepping into your growth, into your bloom era. Like, you're going to bloom once you walk away from this situation and from these people. Okay. You're going to bloom like you have never bloomed before. So this is really giving, like, going to the next level, right? Higher timelines. This card always makes me, I haven't used these cards in a really long time. This card always makes me feel, because there's like this upside down kind of energy. It's like going to the next higher timeline here, and it's almost like these people know, it's really giving, like, people that you surround yourself with that are argumentative, that love to argue, even if it's like little arguments here and there. There's definitely big arguments, but it's just, there's always something with these people or with this person, and both parties don't want to give up. I think this person doesn't want to give up because it's like, it's keeping you there. It's keeping you there where they are when they know they can't go on this journey with you. Your higher self wants to let you know that this situation, these people, this person, they know that they can't go and have access to what you are meant to have. And so they do want to keep fighting. They do want to make up, like, this unnecessary beef, this, make up issues, create problems, because it keeps you from going forward, keeps you from expanding more into yourself, okay, into your abundance. All right. I do think that whenever something good happens, this type of energy happens in this connection, in this relationship, okay, with this person, with these people. Whenever something good happens for you, when your abundance comes in, you've worked really hard on yourself, so that now you're in a very healthy relationship with your significant other. You've attracted love. You've worked really, really hard on yourself to overcome imposter syndrome. And so now your channel is doing well, or your business is doing good. You're getting attention. You're making money. You've worked really hard on yourself, healing yourself, to pour into yourself, to pour efficiently into yourself. And now all these good things are happening. I do feel like this issue is distracting you from all of the good things that are actually surrounding you, and that you're supposed to be eating right now. You're supposed to be indulging right now because you've worked really hard to get to this place where you are. That's what your higher self is saying, and these people know it. This situation, these people, this person, they know it. They know that you are elevating. Okay. And so they want to make up problems. They want to make up, create imaginary beef, And so you have to kind of walk away. That is the message from your higher self, is to start praying for contentment, acceptance in this situation. It's not going to change because these people don't want to have common ground with you. Even if that's what they're saying, they don't want it. There's something about what's going on in your life that is triggering them, or it's conflicting with the energy that they hold. You've worked really hard on self to get to where you are, to take chances on yourself, to feel excited to go to the next level. Okay, you worked really hard to actually get to this point where, like, yeah, I'm about to go overseas. That means going beyond, like, the territory that you're very accustomed to, that you're used to. This is stepping out of your comfort zone to discover deeper levels of self and of life. You're ready for that. But what is preventing you from actually stepping fully into this and even just enjoying? It's almost like you can't even enjoy and be happy, number one, because of this conflict, because of this person, because of these people. You can't even be happy, And it's like summer's about to be here. Like, it's giving like, it's like taking me back to this time where like everything was really good, but like the people around me were just low. And I didn't get it. I didn't understand why they were so sad. You know, I didn't get it, but it was just like, it's like these people might even just be on a very low vibration because of their own shit that they haven't worked through. And then it's like seeing you make these moves and things coming into your life. It creates a lot of chaos and havoc within themselves. And so they want to make up shit. They want to argue. They want to like, when all you are trying to do is live your life. Okay. So you kind of have to just pray for contentment, pray for acceptance on this situation that these people are not going to change. You're not going to find common ground with them right now. Okay. We have career, we have pineapple, older woman, and dolphin. Okay. Somebody might want to reconcile. Someone might want to reconcile. And, you know, I'm really heavily picking up that you should, you know, really analyze, reflect on this, you know, and how you want to handle it, because we have career and we have financial, usually coming from something you did in the past. So certain things that you have done, like I told you, number one, you have worked really hard on yourself. Let's look at your picture. Add to the stage. Why aren't you going? Where are you? Okay, sorry. Look at your picture. You have worked so hard on yourself. You're about to bloom. And you're about to bloom again, I'm also hearing. Because, you know, this shit, this life, it comes in levels, right? So you're about to bloom. You worked really hard on yourself. There's things that you've done in the past. And I'm hearing that song. What is it called? Puck. What's it called? But it's by Ciroc. And she's saying, like, you know, I didn't get here overnight. In that song, she's like, I didn't get here overnight. I was in the mirror saying my affirmations over and over and over. So you guys could have done affirmation. Like, you've done some deep healing work. You really are working on yourself. Even if you're not consistent with it, there's things in the past that are helping you now. Okay. And it's coming in as a career or financial thing. Okay. You could have really said, you know what? I want to, like, I'm seeing my an older friend, you know, a former friend of mine, where she was a teenage mother. She was in a difficult situation, you know, had a lot of childhood trauma to get through. And she got to a point in her life where she was like, you know, I always wanted to go to college, and I'm just going to go. You know, I'm going to enroll. And she was like, I believe we're in our 30s, you know, like she was like 30, 31, 32. And she was like, I'm just going to go get my, you know, my master's degree. I'm just going to, like, you know, I just want a degree. So it could be that, like, you know, you're just taking chances on yourself. There's something that you did in the past that is going to help your career, going to help your financial gain. And so with this reconcile, there could be somebody that is going to reach out. They're going to reach out, or they have. And it's really, you know, it could be an older woman, dealings or a relationship with an older woman. It could be, you know, to really consider how you want to go about this. You know, this could be a mother or a grandmother or someone that's just older than you. It doesn't have to be like gray haired, but it could be an older woman, feminine energy. Okay. And just to consider this, you know, pineapples always makes me think of like the home, hospitality, you know. And so it could mean, like, when I think of a home, I was even thinking about this, you know, today, about what a house is, what a home is. You know, it is an extension of ourselves, right? It's an extension of our life. We can go into these homes and we can find so many things that reflect us, that reflect our inner state, to reflect our personality, our life, our experiences, right? And you really need to consider, how do you want to bring somebody into your home, even if that's just like into your life, Do you want to bring this person back into your life? Do you want to keep them in your life? You know, maybe this person is fighting to get on common ground, to like reconcile and like let's just get, you know, let's resolve this. But Five of Swords is telling you it's not going to be resolved. And, you know, this is preventing career. This is preventing career and financial gain. Okay. Let's get some more oracles here for you. When I'm patient, I let the universe do for me what I cannot do for myself. And I was just telling a friend this last night. I was like, you know, you need to just focus on what you control, what you can control. There's going to be many different things that, you know, in circumstances that we can't control, that need time, that, you know, because we're co-creating here. We're co-creating with everyone here on the planet. And we're also co-creating with God, our spirit team, all of that. So you just have to have patience and let God work out those things. You know, this situation, they're not going to gain understanding and see your point of view with you there. That's a message from your higher self. If you're trying to be present in this person's face, in this person's ear, trying to get them to see where you're coming from, understand you, you know, it's not going to happen with you there. And as you're there, it's distracting you from all the goodness. Okay. And you need to just be patient with that situation, even if you really want that to work out. And this can also be for other things besides this conflict in your life, things that are just like, you know, causing mental conflict. It could be money situation, career situation, in school, you know. Just focus on the things that you can control right now and understand that God's got you, and to just surrender, you know, surrender to life and let life deal with it, you know, and gain control over the things that you do have control over. Instead of worrying about the future, I know all is well when I am aligned in the moment. And this is exactly what I was saying to my friend last night. I was like, you know, all these different circumstances that we don't like, we don't necessarily like, that doesn't make us feel good, that we don't want, you know, just focusing on this takes us out of the present moment. You know, we're either thinking about what's not there, or what's currently, you know, what somebody did, or what something's not there, what something that's not showing up. It's still taking you out of the current present moment. And I was like talking about gratitude journaling with her. And I was telling her, like, you know, you need to shift your frequency, you need to shift your mindset, and you can, you know, instead of focusing on this circumstance and this situation and all these things that you're not like, you know, that are making you unhappy, let's sit down and think about all the different things, because there's just so many things that life, you know, in our life that goes unnoticed, that we take for granted. Okay. So you guys might need to do some gratitude journaling, okay, as well, and just focus on the good things, because this Nine of Pentacles is here. And that's literally telling us that you have a lot around you that you should be grateful for. I always speak on gratitude when this card comes up. You have a lot that has shown up in your life, and it's time for you to kind of like indulge yourself into it, into your experience, and see where else is it going to take you. Okay. It says the universe powerfully responds the instant I realign with love. This situation does not vibrate love. Even if you love this person, you love these people, and you want to be on common ground, and you want to argue your point of view, you feel misunderstood. I feel like, you know, you feel there's some type of misunderstanding or misunderstood. What's going on? I hope you guys can still hear me and see me, because I don't see it on my screen. Okay. Maybe my streaming was just doing something, but this situation does not align you with love. Okay. It doesn't align you with that energy of love. And love is what brings more abundance and success. You need to focus on the good things that make you happy. right now. Okay. And the universe is going to respond to you. It's going to respond, even if the things that you're trying to be patient about, maybe the things that you're trying to come in, whether that's money, something happening in your career, or wanting to travel, wanting to just have more success in a certain area of your life, it's not coming because you haven't surrendered this situation. You need to be patient with that. Let it go. Let the universe do what it needs to do for you, and realign yourself with what makes you feel peaceful, what makes you feel in alignment with love and bliss and happiness and excitement. Okay. And when you do that, life is going to answer to you in the way that you want to. Let's look at some stickers. Okay. For you. Okay. My imaginary friends think I'm cool. So again, I feel like, you know, there's a lot about your spiritual team here. This card, this little sticker always makes me think of the spiritual team, your guidance system. You know, we are guided by our higher self. We also have mentors. We have ancestors. We have, you know, these goddesses, deities, you know, that we connect to. And they're all guiding you. So I feel like a message from your higher self is that you need to connect more with your spiritual team. Okay. Rainy day fun, home tattoo kit. Okay. So this little boy is getting his tattoo. It's okay to have fun. This is what I'm feeling, because it's really giving that energy of that show, The Magicians, where they got a tattoo to go to do like battle magic, and to go to war with this, like with the beast, right? If you guys watched the show Magicians, I'm gonna pick one more sticker for you. They get this tattoo, and it's to bring out that monster, that that kind of, what I want to say, servitor. It's like a creature that protects you during battles, during war. Five of Swords energy. It's okay. You know, I think a lot of you guys are scared to like tap into this abundance, into this, like what you've worked really hard for, whether that's like, you know, a new home, your, you know, your new relationship, whatever it is. It could be anything, your job, having more money to do things. Like there's a sense of like, I got to protect myself. Okay. Because of this situation makes you feel that way. Or, you know, it's okay to have fun, because it says rainy day fun. You need to have fun. You're going to be protected. Okay. There is no such thing as too many cats, this sticker says. And this sticker always makes me feel like, you know, that it's just crowded here and it's making you exhausted. It's like there's too many people in your energy. There's too many people you're surrounding yourself with that is not on the same type of energy as you. And it's like exhausting you out. You know, I think you need to consider, do you have too many people in your pot? You know, having access to your life, having access to your energy that necessarily is just exhausting. You don't even have time to have fun. Like you're on guard. You know, we need to consider that. Okay. Number one, what do I want to do next? Do I want to pull one more card? I'm feeling called to do, oh, okay. I'll do these. The OG deck. For number one, hot mess. You know, I think a lot of these people are a hot mess. It's not your job to help them. You know, it's not your job to fix them. You know, I was also like telling a person, I was telling somebody recently, like, you know, when you're like this, you have to show up for yourself when you're a hot mess. So these people could be a hot mess. You could be a hot mess, right? But in order to change, you know, if you want these people to change, it's like they're just, these people have a lot going on. When we say hot mess, it's like they need to tend to themselves. And you might want to like be there and try to help them. And you think a part of like telling your story or your side of things or your perspective or, you know, your point of view or whatever, right, on the situation, your feelings is going to help them. But they are not wanting to even help themselves. So these people have to help themselves, okay, in order to be helped. That's with everyone. And I was telling this person, like, you know, I realized like in the end, you only have yourself. Yeah, we have these people outside of us that are there and they love us and, you know, they're there for us, but they can't even be there for us if we are not there for ourselves. So you got to be there for yourself. And you also have to see that these people are not there for themselves. And that's why they're a hot mess. And it's not your job to come in and clean up everything, right? It's not your job to clean up their mess and to help them. Okay. They can do the same shit that you've been doing. Okay. They can work on themselves. Mind blown. I honestly feel like your mind is just blown by this situation, this conflict that's happening. It's like you're just blown. It's just too much. You don't understand it. You know, you want to understand it. I also feel like, you know, that alone is just necessary for you to just step away and collect your shit. You don't have to understand this shit. If it's too much and it's too crazy and like it's just too weird, you need to step away. You know, get away from that shit. It's not, you're never going to really truly understand why people do the things that they do. You know, you just have to understand and know that you don't resonate with this shit. I also feel like by you walking away, your mind is going to be even blown on how like things just come in. Some of you guys have already experienced this where you've kind of let go of this conflict and abundance came in, direction came in, you know, blessings came in, and it's just blown. I also feel like this person is going to like be blown by you walking away, you know, because I think they're very accustomed to fighting with you. Addiction. You could be addicted to conflict yourself because you're used to it, going back and forth with these people. Maybe you're used to it from your childhood. Notice that there is an addiction. This addiction by Doja Cat. She talks about being addicted to this person. This person could be addicted to you, you know, and that, I know we glorify that. We romanticize that, people being addicted to each other. But it's not good. You shouldn't be addicted to anything but just growing and growth and healing and trying to be your best version. That's the only thing that you should be addicted to. Addiction puts us back. It hinders us. Okay. So those are the messages from your higher self. Number one, I'm going to move on to number two. I hope that resonated, but remember that I am booking $20 readings, okay? This is limited time. This booking will not be open. You can book me on Stan Store. It's so much easier. I'm so happy doing it this way. It's just so much easier booking through there. I almost want to like do everything through Stan Store, but I probably won't because I really like chatting with you guys on the Etsy. But if you guys want a $20 reading, check out the Stan Store. That is where you can book with me. Okay. It's a 5-card pool, so they're more in depth. And this will only last probably for a couple more days. Okay. All right. So let's move on to, what is number two? Okay. Let's look at number two. Let me take a drink. Okay. You're going somewhere. You're going somewhere. Yep. All right. Number two, the message that's coming in for you is that you are going to the next higher timeline. Okay. Things are shifting. I feel like there could be things that are going to be shifting. This is a very positive message that's coming through right now for number two. I think you're kind of like, there's this sense of unknown energy, like you're excited, right? Things are shifting around right now, currently in your life. It's not necessarily bad. It's not necessarily like, it just is. Things are just like moving around. You might even be like, what does that mean? What's going on? Like, what, and there's also a sense of like unknown energy. Okay. There's a sense of like feeling like you don't know where you're going to end up. Like, that these steps that you're taking are the steps that you're supposed to be taking, and they excite you. But it's almost like, is this going to lead me to more success? Is it going to lead me to, and it just feels like you're going to the next, like you're ascending. You see the stairs? You're ascending into a new timeline. There's a whole new galaxy over here. If you see that there's the planets here surrounding this portal, that's where you're currently are. But you're about to jump timelines. And I'm also seeing like you're gonna see certain things that are going to affirm that you have made a shift. You've merged into the next timeline. Okay. But that's really all that I'm picking up from here. Your higher self wants to deliver a message about, possibly these steps. You've overcome a lot. The mountains are in the background, they're not present right here. The clouds here are kind of representing like the confusion, the unknown, not knowing exactly where you're going, right? And where it's leading you. It's like a sense of unknown energy. But yeah, you're going on to the next timeline. They want to talk about that. Okay, so let's get some cards out. I don't know. Trying to figure out how to use that better. Let's get some cards out. King of Wands, the Hierophant, damn, and the Seven of Swords. Wow. Okay. Yep, the Fool on the bottom of the deck. The Fool is here, and that's exactly what I was feeling for you, number 2. That there's there's a Fool energy. Like you're going, there's like you have to kind of trust. Like these steps that you're taking, you're very like, the steps that you're taking right now, currently in your life, it could be anything. It could be literally anything is what they're telling me. It's going to be many different things for you, number 2s. But these steps that you're taking are really exciting. And they feel like you're supposed to be taking these steps. They're aligned with passion. They're aligned with the vision that you see, right? The energy that you want to step into. You know that taking these steps are going to lead to that result, that lead to that vision. There's like a knowing, but it's also because like you haven't seen anything, and things are shifting. You feel like you're currently still on this timeline, right? And so like nothing has really changed, but what I'm being told is that there's like a merge that's happening right now. So to continue to take these steps, because the more that you take these steps in this direction, the things that you want to experience, this could be like a relationship, because we have a king here. We have the Hierophant that, that talks about commitment, and so there could be a love interest where you feel really excited to go towards, and you're just like, but you don't know where it's going to lead you. You feel kind of like being with this person, spending time with this person, taking these steps with these people, with this person. You're meant to do it, okay. 7 of Swords is showing up, like it's yelling at me. So you could be, I feel like you could have been, your message from your higher self is like letting you know that you're being triggered. So in the past, you could have been hurt by a certain person, by a situation. So it's kind of like that's where the second guessing comes in. So you're just like, oh, is this person going to cheat me? Is this person going to betray me? Is this situation going to betray me? Like, is it going to put me in a place where I don't want to be? And it's coming through is like, no. The only way that is going to happen is if you sabotage yourself. It's important to feel the energy. Do you see how electrified this King of Wands is? Hopefully you guys can. Okay, good. He's so electrified and tapped into the grid. You know, the wands represent an energy, a drive. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you're with this person, you're doing these things, you're at these places, you're doing these activities, these behaviors, and it's in alignment. You can feel it, that this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is where you're supposed to be. And it makes you feel confident. It makes you feel um, like electrified, you know, full of purpose. And so the only way that that's going to happen is being cheated by yourself, by second guessing it and possibly running away, you know, possibly not taking these, you know, these steps in these directions and staying committed. You know, King and Hierophant, this is commitment energy. This is contract energy. So the things that you're doing, it's like you're having, even if it's like, you know, I know I'm supposed to be doing this, you know, I'm supposed to be doing this, you know, job. I'm supposed to be taking these steps towards, you know, this path, this career path, you know, or this person. But I'm getting triggered because the last time I was here, the last time I was making these steps, I didn't really get the results that I wanted, you know, but that involved somebody else. Okay. So the message from your higher self is to really get more committed, that you're learning a huge lesson right now. The Hierophant is about lessons. Okay. It is about big spiritual lessons here. And this is about structure. I think right now the steps that you're taking, it shows a lot of discipline and structure. And you're showing up with this energy, you know, like, so if this is like a relationship, it's like you're kind of like keeping up with this person. You're going on dates, you are, you know, opening up. There's structure here too. So it's not like, it feels healthy. It's not all about this person or all about their connection, about the relationship. You're also very focused in other areas of your life. And so I feel like the message here is to really pay attention. Like, even though you feel like, oh, this could be a risk with the Fool energy, this could be a risk. I don't really know where I'm going. Take note of like everything that you can see, everything that you do can really, that you really do feel sure about. Maybe you don't know where this relationship is going to lead a year from now, you know, or 5 years from now. You know, maybe you don't know where these steps are going to lead you in the next year. But if you take a look on how everything else is flowing and shifting, because like I said, things are shifting. There isn't necessarily anything bad happening currently right now. And there's nothing really like something really like, I think the really good things that are happening right now, you're scared of, and you're triggered by. Yeah, you're scared to fall into a trap. You're scared to possibly make the wrong moves. And right now you are learning a huge lesson on life right now. And I think a lot of that is going to be reflected in your maturity, like understanding that you can trust yourself. That's what this is about. Your higher self wants you to know that you can trust yourself. Okay? The situations that you've went through have led you to this place. Have led you to this place where you have these opportunities, you have these experiences beginning to show themselves to you at a deeper level. And it's all because you have learned through that mistreatment, through that, you know, pain, that uncomfortable energy, and you have grown from it. You have learned to spot it out. You know, you've learned to, that's why things feel so structured and why things feel so in alignment when you're taking these steps, even though you haven't seen the you know, the big picture here on where it's, you know, or maybe it hasn't came in fully yet, right? You can feel that you're in alignment with it because you've made healthy decisions. You can trust yourself. Even if this situation down the line, like, which I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, but even if the situation does change down the line, you can trust yourself to take care of yourself, to make the right decisions. You've made right decisions up into the, to this point. So there's just like some fear, and I think it's because it's like you've really shifted into this like mature energy. Like your past could have been, you could have made some reckless decisions, right? You might have made some really reckless decisions. Maybe you weren't clear with where you really wanted to go. And so it was just like, not so structured, not so disciplined, not so consistent, I'm hearing. But that is not what you're in currently right now and what you're stepping into. You're stepping into discipline, commitment, consistency, making healthy decisions. And it's all because you have learned these things. You have learned to be like, you know what? You can trust yourself. You can trust to know that when you're in a bad situation. And so if you're being triggered, I feel what your higher self is letting you know, that's just like a fear mechanism. Why is it a fear mechanism? It's like a defense mechanism. You're scared because it does feel good. Because those times in the past when you were in those situations, it felt good. It felt exciting, and it did feel in alignment because it was in alignment. You were meant to go through that mistreatment, that betrayal, that infidelity. You were meant to go through that so that you can come here, be more experienced, be more ready, be more in alignment to hold the energy, to go on to that next timeline. Okay. So a lot of you guys are stepping into marriage. You guys are going to be stepping into marriage, even if this is, or like some type of marriage within a business, within a career, because the wands are very career focused. Like my elbow is hurting right now. It's like aching for some reason. So, you guys could be experiencing some pain in your arm, in your elbow. But I feel that, you can trust yourself. And a lot of you guys are going to be stepping into like having a contract with career, with a person, and that you're ready for this. That's really the message from your higher self, is that you're ready to really step fully. And so the last part, I think of like, dotting your I's and crossing your T's on the contract, is letting go of self-betrayal in the form of like, oh, I'm scared of this. I don't want this person to hurt me, or I don't want to make the wrong decision, so I'm not going to make the decision at all. Or I'm scared that this person's going to hurt me, so I'm just like, I'm not going to, commit. I'm not going to go towards this, even though I've asked for it and now it's showed up. You're being called to not sabotage yourself in these ways. And that's a part of, crossing your T's, dotting your I's, the contract, fulfilling, and going on to the next thing, to the next timeline. Okay. Is saying, okay, I'm not scared. I trust myself. I trust that I've made good decisions. Like if I really do the reflection, I could see that these were all the right decisions that I made. Because of this, because of that, because, it's like taking a reflection. Because if we look at your picture here, we go back to look at your picture, it's like your grid is shifting. You're about to leave. You're about to leave this timeline and go into a whole different timeline where it holds different experiences, different lessons, right? And a part of that is saying, okay, I'm done. I trust myself. I'm ready to go. I got myself, I know that I'm going to make right decisions from here on out. And also, like, they're just, I feel it. These decisions, I feel the energy. It doesn't feel like my intuition. You know, if the high priestess was here, we would be talking about we would be talking about like things that we can't see. But I feel like the energy that you can't see when you're with this person, it feels in alignment. When you're doing these activities, when you're at this workplace or making these moves towards your life, it feels in alignment. Your intuition is telling you yes. But the hard lessons, when you reflect on them, it's like when you get into the physicality of shit, it's like that's the Hierophant energy. It's more physical, it's more grounded, it's earth energy, the Hierophant. So it's about these experiences of life that teach us things, not the spiritual lessons. Like, yes, he's a spiritual teacher, but he teaches us the lessons about life. Okay, so let's look at these tea leaves here. It says temptation will test you. So you could be tempted right now. You know, you could be very tempted to run away, to maybe get into the Seven of Swords energy because, you know, commitment scares you, you know, because last time you were committed, you got hurt. The last time that you cared, you know, this much, you got hurt. So you're very tempted right now, very tempted in both directions. Honestly, I have to say, trouble, accusations. So there could be some, like, you know, trouble happening, people accusing people, you know. There could be accusations that make you second guess yourself, you know, bring up, did I mention imposter syndrome? Imposter syndrome. Or was that reading number 1? But that's coming up again too. So there could be like accusations, people starting trouble within your life, saying things about you, that second guessing you taking these steps towards, you know, they feel in alignment. We have heart, love, deep affection, and caring. I feel like there's a lot of love here. You feel it. There's a lot of love. I think you didn't, like, the lessons of the past, which are coming up right now for you, number 2. They weren't about love. And right now you are learning about love, deep affection, and caring. And this next timeline, you're going to really experience a lot of that energy. We have the Turkey. It says somebody is behaving stupidly. I honestly feel like this is you. Number 2. It could be somebody behaved really stupidly in the past, and so you're scared to take these steps, to choose yourself, to boss up, to you know, allow somebody to come into your heart space, deeper into your heart space, you know, to go into theirs. But somebody is behaving stupidly, and that we need to look at that. And I think for a lot of you number 2s, it's you, you know. So we got to look and check our behaviors and see if we are making, is this a stupid decision? And you know what? Let's get selfish. Let's get selfish. Because the King of Wands is here. He's the selfish king. Okay. He's the selfish king. And he does not get into any contracts. He doesn't make any moves unless it benefits him. So the message from your higher self is to make sure that your decisions, your actions, your behaviors, the steps that you're taking, the direction that you're going in, ask yourself, am I being stupid going in this direction? Am I being stupid making these decisions? Is this going to lead me to something that is going to benefit me, or is going to take me out? That should be your question right now, number 2. We also have July. So something is coming in July. I really feel like in July, you guys are going to be fully integrated into this next timeline. And you're going to be like, yeah, ADIE was right. Like, I am learning more about love and deep affection and caring. And, you know, I'm glad that I didn't get tempted. A lot of you 2s are going to be saying that in July. You're going to be happy that you took the risk, and even though you didn't know where you were going, you didn't sabotage yourself by acting stupidly. Some of you twos will act stupid, I'm hearing, and you'll fuck it up for yourself. Okay? And what I like to say about timelines, jumping timelines, and going to the higher timeline, which a lot of you twos are going, you're right there. You're about to walk through the portal. Okay? Like for number one, I felt like it hasn't even shown up for them yet, because they have to like make some decisions. You've been making the right decisions. Okay? And a lot of you guys, what I was going to say about timelines is that it's just an energy. Everything is energy. But because our feelings, our emotions influence energy, and energy also influences our emotions, it takes us some time to get back into alignment where that portal can open up again. Okay? So even you number twos in July, when you think back and like, fuck, I cheated on him. Now, like, we're in this situation, right? Or fuck, I haven't even been making the moves on myself because I was so scared to do so because someone fucked me over in the past. So I didn't want to make, certain decisions. Fuck, I missed the portal. It's okay. Just realign yourself. Okay? You're going to have to realign yourself. That portal can open up as soon as you realign yourself with the energy of that timeline. But in July, it's going to become known. Okay, so let's get some more energies for you guys to read. Get these cards. Let's see here. It says, I slow down and I listen to the guidance that's available to me. So like with temptation, with being really stimulated with like, this energy that feels good, slow down. Listen to the guidance instead of like listening to fear. Listen to the guidance. Slow down because you're tapped in with the guidance. But sometimes these lessons that come up from the past, like, you're being triggered, it can take you out of that space where the veil kind of gets thick and you're just you're just deeply into the 3D and you don't know exactly like, oh, where am I? Am I doing something that I shouldn't be doing? It's going to lead me to a dangerous situation, or just slow down. Slow down. Don't make any decisions. Don't make any moves, and just listen to the guidance. It's there. Okay. It says, I release time and I let go, or I release time and I let the universe show me what to do. Exactly. Exactly. You're at a point right now in the game. Let's just say that in the game, in your own personal game, in your own personal journey, where you can just, you don't have to worry about time. Time abides by you. Okay. And you're there right now at this point in the game where you can just let the universe show you what to do. Okay. Because I said, you guys are really tapped in intuitively. Okay. And so just release time. Let go. Don't worry about when things are going to happen. Like, it's going to happen. The universe is going to show you what you need to do. And I feel like these steps that you're taking, it's really feeling like the universe is like, it is little by little showing you, yeah, keep going. Take this step. Yeah. Go in this direction. Yeah. Do that. Spend time with this person, or, take that promotion, or put in more overtime, or, it's something like that. The universe is letting you and showing you in different ways on how the 3D reality is responding to you. It's showing you what you need to do. Okay. If you're going to be in the 3D, listen to the 3D. If you're going to be so in the 3D reality, listen to it. Look at it. It's showing you what you should do. Okay. So it says here, waiting more for others puts me on. Oh, sorry. Wanting more for others puts me into an energy of abundance. Yeah. Okay. We mentioned being selfish, right? There's this energy I'm feeling here. of either like wanting more for yourself or wanting more for others that scares you. Okay. It's like I'm really feeling like these steps that you're taking, the people that you're interacting with, it gives a sense of like, oh, I'm getting more out of this, I'm giving more to others, to this situation. I'm giving a lot here, or I'm accepting a lot, or this person is giving a lot to me, and your higher self is wanting to let you know that the more that you kind of like just release and let go, it's putting you deeper into what you want. It's putting you deeper into this abundance energy. Don't be scared of it. Don't be scared of abundance. So if someone is abundantly like showing up for you in the ways that you've always wanted, or you're giving more of yourself, and so you're scared, like, oh, I'm scared if I put more of my energy into this outlet, put more energy into this, of myself into this. Like, I'm scared of that. Don't be scared of that. It puts you into the energy of abundance. Okay. So let's get some stickers for you, number 2. Okay. So we have the moon little sticker. Let's look at these. Hold on. See here. So we have the moon sticker. It's just basically another tarot card. Tarot is trying to speak to you. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of illusion here, a lot of fear. You guys have a lot of fear right now because you can't see. Another card that speaks about the unknown. If I had to pick one card that you should be in, it should be the Fool. Should it be the moon? Should it be the Fool? I would say be in the Fool. Don't allow yourself to go so deep into this fear where you're just so deep into your head, like where you're just overthinking and it's taking you. There's so much illusion there because the past lives there in our minds, in our archive. All the lessons that you've learned, it's there. And so if you get scared and you go there and it does take you out of your 3D, it's like you have to have this like this even flow, ebb and flow of being inward and outward, internal, external energy. But don't let what is happening here puts you deeper into the internal, where you're not experiencing the things that you want to experience because you're making different decisions. It's like, if you're going to be in this sense of unknown, be in the Fool. Be excited. I remember I was watching this video of Bossy Brujo. I'm just like, it's coming up. I don't know what video it was. It was like months ago. But she was like, I think it was her. I believe it was her. She was like, instead of being scared of the unknown, how about we look at it like, I wonder what's really going to happen in this situation. I'm excited to, like, wow, I don't know what's going to happen here. Let's be excited and curious. Let's not be scared, okay? Because there's a lot of illusion here. We have, it says, fun with shadows. Yeah, your shadow is coming up. Your shadow is coming up. They're making little puppets, shadow puppets with their hands, the children. The devil is showing up here. So your shadow is kind of being activated here. So these are things that make you feel uncomfortable about yourself, okay? Certain behaviors, certain thought patterns, maybe personality traits are being kind of like summoned up into your life, activated. And, it's that devil energy. It's like, so if you are going to have anxiety, that could be one of your shadows. If you are going to, be in that energy, how about you, like, okay, what's showing up here is that movie, what's it called? Inside Out. Is it called? Yeah, Inside Out 2, where anxiety comes in, right? And at the end, I really love that movie because I really love how they showed how to use the shadow characteristics that we have, where you're not just going to let it run rapid. You're going to assign that trait, and that's how you get the shadow to work with you. You no longer try to, ignore it or stuff it down, because when you do that, it does run rapid. How about you allow your anxiety to really check? Is everything in order? Is everything okay? And if everything's okay, then we can say, okay, anxiety, you can chill. Sit over there. Relax, because everything is fine. Okay, so this is about not being scared that anxiety is coming up to the surface. Or what is another shadow? Impulsiveness. Maybe, when anxiety happens, then the anxiety just opens up the door for all the shadows to come on out. And so your impulsiveness is coming out, your anger is coming out, maybe that deep rage is coming up to the surface because a lot of different past lessons are showing up. If it's going to be there, let's work with it. Let's not suppress it or let it run rapid. Let's merge with our shadow and let it benefit us. So if you're feeling angry, instead of taking it out on this person or acting impulsive or causing chaos in your life because you're fucking angry that you got cheated on, that you got hurt, that you got mistreated, stolen from, whatever it is, let's use that anger in a sacred way that is going to benefit you. Let's express it in a healthy way. Let's have conversations. Let's open up. Talk about what's going on with yourself. Okay? Don't let it run you. This is what happens when you don't allow the shadow to merge with yourself. Is that now you're scared of this person that's actually showing you love, and you're angry because you were hurt in the past. So let me just go fuck on this other nigga over here because I don't even want to get hurt. Like, I'd rather hurt him before he hurts me. I'm hearing that kind of energy. And I feel like a lot of you guys will regret that. You might not regret it in the moment, but you will regret it. And that's a part of the shadow running rapid because you've stuffed it down. It's okay that you're angry, that you're mad and you pop off and, or that you're impulsive. If you're going to be impulsive, let's plug that into a different outlet. How can you use your impulsiveness to work for you? Let's put it into our, maybe, instead of being impulsive in this area that that it's going to cause havoc, because it takes a lot of self-awareness. Your higher self wants you to have self-awareness when it comes to your shadow, because your shadow can be really fucking shit up for you. Number two, so a lot of you guys, you need to plug that impulsiveness into maybe, instead of saying you're going to go and just do something crazy. I'm gonna go to the gym. Impulsive workout. Let me go work out. Just randomly. Let me just get up and do something impulsive. What should I do that's gonna benefit me? Let me go work out. Let me go make some money. If you're gonna be impulsive and do impulsive things, what word am I trying to use? It's like a word that I'm trying to just facilitate that impulsive energy in a different way. See, look, this is the prayer hands with the money here. Okay, let me see. It says suffer more, the tattoos on the hand. Okay. Your higher self really wants you to know, because I'm really concentrated on these handcuffs that are connected to this hand. You've broken chains here. You've broken a lot of chains here. And that's why there's this sense of oh, I'm in a different space. I'm about to go into a different space. And I really don't know what that space is like. It's because you've broken chains to actually enter in, into these spaces. A lot of you guys, instead of heavily focusing on the relationships, you should be just focusing on your money. Okay. Focus on your money. All right. Let's do the OG deck. But you're breaking chains and you need to pray to God. These hands are Praying in a praying motion. Let's see here. Throat. Yeah, instead of being impulsive, how about we just have an impulsive conversation? Hey, look, I need to talk to you about something. I feel fucking triggered. Or I feel really angry that you did this. You know, like the throat is here to tell us, you know, your higher self is wanting you to use your throat chakra. It's time for you to talk about shit. You know, talk about the experiences. Still queening. Okay. So it's like, what I'm feeling here is that your higher self is letting you know that, like, there's this royal energy that you've always carried, you know, and you deserve it. It's almost like you were a queen back then. Even though people mistreated you, cheated on you, you were still a queen, and you're still a queen today. Your choices have changed, but you have not. Like, or you have changed, of course, but it's like you didn't deserve that mistreatment. Sometimes we do have to experience things that we don't necessarily deserve, that we think we deserve, because we have to learn something. We have to learn what love is through what love is not, right? What true partnership is by understanding what partnership is not. You're still a queen, and that's why people are coming towards you and treating you like such. Okay? You're a king, you're a queen. You were born for this. So some of the things that you're stepping into, it's like your higher self is telling you, like, you were born to do this. You were born for this person. You were born to take these steps in your career. You were born to start getting into these different behaviors and activities. Okay. So we have, is it because I said it or because it's truth? There's some type of truth that you gotta, like, start speaking on. You know, there's some truth that you need to start expressing, having conversations, whether that's with this person, the person that you're dating, or your family, or, you know, a therapist. It's time to talk. Maybe you have to tell your story. People are not going to like it, because it's like, is it because I said it, or is it because it's the truth? It's both. You know, that's what I'm hearing. But people are not going to, that's fine. They don't have to agree with your truth. They don't have to be okay with it. The only person that has to be okay with it is you. That's it. And you're okay with the truth, but you haven't spoken on it. So it's causing, you know, some issues. And then this, text that person back. Text me back. Text, a lot of you guys need to text this person back. Stop with the impulsive shit, with the toxic shit, because you were in some toxic shit in the past. More than likely, this situation is not that. Okay? Text that man back. Text it back, okay? Let him love up on you, because you're a queen. You were born for this type of treatment and for this type of person. You know, everyone is not perfect. I do want to, because, you know, this is a general reading, so, like, not everyone is perfect, but I feel more than likely this situation is not like the past situation. And there could be a conversation just to express your anger, express your fear in a healthy way. Don't let it run rapid. Okay? So that's what I have for you. Number 2, that is your reading. Text that man back. Use that throat. Talk to him. Use your throat chakra to talk. Okay. We're going to go into number 3, but remember, I am booking $20 readings. And this is a limited time flash sale. It's not going to be around it's not going to be a booking that stays. I do this every so often for the collective, because not everybody can afford, you know, You know, getting a tarot reading is a luxury spiritual service. But I don't feel that spiritual services should, like, there should be free shit for people. That's why I have my YouTube channel. And this is why I do $20 readings for people that need answers, you know, need understanding. So I'm doing this right now. You can book me on Stan Store. It is so easy. The last few times that I did this, oh my God, I love Stan Store, you guys. I just love it. All right, so we're gonna go on to number 3 though. We're about to get on to number 3. Let me clear my table, get this energy off the table. But yeah, number 3, call that man back. Or number 2, call that man back. Okay? Call that man back. Use that throat. Okay, so we about to get into it. We're gonna get into number 3. Let me get number 3 picture up. Okay, let's see number 3. What's going on? Okay, sorry, let me clear my energy. Number 2 is making me laugh with that throat shit. Okay, okay, number 2, your message from your higher self. Let's get into it. Ooh, hold up. Hold on, let me take a look. There's sadness here. There's a lot of work to do, number 3. You know, when I talk to Spirit about this reading, I really put out the intentions of like what we need to do. What do we need to discuss? What do we need to know in order to step into our growth, our expansion, and our glow up energy to get to the preferred timeline? We're traveling here. We're travelers. We're timeline hoppers. And that's what we're doing. So I feel like you, number 3, you have been feeling very stagnant. You feel stuck. You feel stuck in the timeline that you're in. And there's this energy of like possibly like just right there. You're just like, you're right at the opening, but you don't fit through. You're carrying too much. I'm hearing Bag Lady by Erykah Badu. And there's like an energy of like hurting your back, right? Because I'm hearing that line where she's like, you gonna hurt your back carrying all those bags like that. So it's like you can't fit through to the next timeline because there's like a grid, right? You're coming through and there's a lot of sadness that you need to process. There's a lot of, you know, pain that you have to process. And there's a lot of self-disappointment, a lot of it's like, it's time to take off the mask. It's time to stop pretending. I'm also hearing there's a lot of pain that you, number 3s, have to process in order to get through that portal. And just, you can't fit. There's a lot of things that you're carrying. There's a lot of things in your bags that vibrate at a certain frequency. And it's like, you've done some work, but there's some work that you got to do. You can't half-ass it. You're not going to be able to travel and hop to the next timeline and get to those experiences that you want, those internal experiences and those external experiences that you want with all of that fucking shit that you're carrying. You can't fake it. You can't fake it. That's the thing. Some of you guys, number 3s, are faking it and you think you're going to make it, but you're not. You're going to miss the bus. And you can't just, this spiritual shit is real. This working on self, getting over the pain, getting over the child trauma, the self-sabotage, you know, that shit is real. That's nothing to like play around with, and you can't fake it to try to make it. And there's something here that I feel like with you number threes, where like you see other people moving on, you see other people, or you see other people having these experiences that you want, and it's sad. It's making you sad. Number three. But it's also like taking you inward to look at self, you know, like what's different? What's different about you than these other people that you see having these experiences and moving on to the timeline? Because we jump together. We jump together, you know? We all go in different directions. We collectively jump, you know, to these higher timelines. And you want to be with certain people. You want to be with a certain type of person and people, but you know, there's a lot that you got to do. So let's talk about it, okay? Because I feel like a lot of you guys were half-assing something, like half-assing the work and thinking that it was going to get you by and get you through, you know? And then I think you guys are being hit with the hard reality that this shit is real. And those people that are actually having those experiences wasn't fucking around. They weren't playing around with this shit. They were really doing the work on themselves. And it requires, like, this is deep shadow work. This is like, you know, shadow work is about getting comfortable with the shit that you dislike about yourself, that you hide from the world. It's about being transparent with yourself. When you are not transparent, you're not doing the shadow work, when you're not transparent with yourself, most of the time, everybody else can see what the fuck is going on with you. You think you're hiding, but you're not. So when you're true, and then it's like, when you're transparent with yourself, you're like really transparent with the world, where they accept you. Like, there isn't anything that somebody can say that I haven't said to myself. You know? And if you're getting very offended, some of you guys have been told certain things by certain people. And because you don't want to look inward on yourself, you're not seeing it clearly. You're victimizing yourself. Okay, so let's get some cards on the deck. I mean, on the table, on deck. Put some cards here, but I feel like a lot of you guys, this, you know, you can't half-ass it. You got to do the work. You got to get comfortable, and you have to be okay with it. When you're hiding it and you're suppressing it, you're suppressing a part of yourself. Your shadow is a part of you. You were born with that shadow. Your shadow is developed by certain experiences that you've had. You know, it was developed and created by certain experiences that you've had, whether that's before you came into this life or as you walk through this life. And it's a part of you, and you're meant to have it. We're not meant to kill the shadow. We're not meant to, you know, slay it and just be in the light. You're supposed to be in the fucking darkness too. You're supposed to be able to navigate the darkness and navigate the light equally. And, you know, when you do that, it benefits you. When you can say, this is how I am, and I really dislike it, and this is why I'm this way. I'm going to let this part of myself live. Like, very much, it's giving very much the movie Us, okay, where she's like battling her shadow. That's about that is a channeled movie for you guys. The movie Us. It is about suppressing your pain, suppressing certain things that have happened to you, and that shadow has to live with that. And then it comes up to the surface to run rapid, and it fucks up shit. So you can act like you're doing all the work and living this love and light, but you got to be in the dark and the hateful energy as well. And I know that's hard to hear for some people that are in this narrative and, you know, thinking that life is all about light and love, but it's not. You know, and we have to transmute the pain. We have to process it, We have to understand ourselves. That's why these people are off having these experiences that you want to, because they've worked through certain things. They've transmuted the energy, and they've learned to kind of like control their shadows to a certain point, to a certain extent, point. So let's get some cards. I feel like that's the message really from your higher self, is that it's time to actually do the work on yourself so that you can get through that portal, so you can get on to the next, timeline. You're stuck. You feel stagnant. You feel like there isn't movement, and you want to have these experiences, but it just hasn't happened yet. Why? Let's talk about it. Okay, Spirit wants to talk about them as we go. Okay, we got to take this in steps. Okay, number 3, that's what I'm hearing. Like, we got to just go slow, take it step by step. High Priestess. Okay. I'm hearing secrets. So there's a lot that you hide about yourself. The message is that we got to come out. We got to just come out and reveal ourselves. We have to take off the veil and reveal who our true self is. Even if it makes you so uncomfortable. Even if it makes you so uncomfortable. Like when I realized, or I realized when I broke up with my children's father, and I was a single mother for the first time, I realized this was the first time that I had been single for a long time. Before him, I was just jumping from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship. And I would never stay single. But it was something about being a mom, and I didn't want to bring just, anybody into my life, because now I have this baby boy. Okay. And it was devastating. And I didn't even feel like I wanted to date anybody, but it made me aware that, wow, I'm really scared to be alone. And that made me cringe. Right? It made me cringe, because I was just like, wow, I'm with people just to be with people, because I don't want to be alone. And why is that? And so that pushed me deeper into like, why was I like that? Why was my shadow just clinging on to people and needing to be in a relationship just to be in a relationship? What was that about? And that led me into like understanding like, wow, I have really deep issues with my parents that have abandoned me. It took me back to there. And a part of this, like recognizing, like you can recognize these things about yourself. And I encourage you to go deeper into like why you are the way that you are. So I'm using, like, that was a secret. It was such a secret that I became so accustomed to it that I didn't even really address it. It's almost like the shadow came up. It made me feel uncomfortable. And the only thing that made me feel comfortable was to just throw myself into another relationship and act like it was nothing, right? It's like a secret. So it's like, you got to be comfortable with your own secrets, and you can't push them down. And when life comes at you, to be transparent and to be real, you can't push it away and be like, well, I'm not like that. No, it's not. I'm not acting this way because of that. Again, you're hiding the secret. So, because there's something about like secrets coming up to the surface and you having to deal with it. You being revealed in such a way that you got to deal with this shit. You can't just lie. You can't hide it, because I also mentioned like it's at a point where people can see it. You think that people can't see it. People can see it. Like, people probably thought that about me. Like, she's always in a relationship. She's always with somebody. And to me, I wasn't even like aware of it. I wasn't even like aware, but this is also about like possibly like Because I'm hearing in my head, like, maybe I would have, if somebody did approach that during that time where I was just like jumping from relationship to relationship, because I was like putting it off as something else. Oh, I'm really into this guy. I really like him. It wasn't like, oh, I'm hurt that I'm no longer in this relationship with this person. So let me just ease that pain by just jumping into another relationship. I wasn't addressing it. I was like calling it something else that it wasn't, you know? And maybe at that time, nobody did, but at that time, if somebody would have came to me and said, hey, you're always in a relationship, like, why don't you just be single, bitch? Like, you know, I probably would have got offended. I probably would have got offended. So I'm hearing that. And so I'm just feeling like some of you guys, this could be your exact situation, or it could be a different secret. It can be something else that it just makes you cringe and disgusted with yourself. And half the time, the reason why you're this way is not because of you. I mean, we further on the energy by being, you know, in certain behaviors, but most of the time, like, I wasn't that way because, you know, I just don't want to be single. It was because my mother abandoned me when I was 7. My dad is a drug addict. So I felt abandoned by him in many different ways as well, even though he was the one who raised me, you know? So this is also about just like being honest about what's going on with you, you know, really seeing it for what it is and realizing that your shadow, you know, is meant for you to merge with it. So your secret that you're hiding, it can be your superpower. It could be your superpower, you know? It's there. There's a lot of things like, you know, me wanting to be connected to someone and share my love and like always seeking love. That is a part of my shadow because it's fueled by my abandonment issues to just give myself and to just like, you know, to just always show up. But it also makes me a really good person too. And your shadow is not, is your darkness is good too. It just needs, it's more of a, it's in a chaotic state. It needs to be controlled, you know, and a lot of times the light energy can get chaotic too. If you too much in the light, you're blind, you know. A lot of these people go way into the light and they go insane, you know. They have a lot of fear. And that's the same goes with the darkness. You go too dark into it, it's like it's too much and you go insane. And there's a balance that needs to be here. So it also feels like somebody is trying to, your higher self is trying to show this to you, but it's also showing me that it's probably through other people. Like bringing this up to the surface for you, certain, you know, situations that you're finding yourself in. Okay, so it's time to address these dark shadow secrets that you have about yourself and really go deeper into them, because once you become comfortable with it, you can begin to like navigate it differently and it can benefit you. Okay, you know, um like I don't know why they keep showing the abandonment issues. I mean, that's my shit, you know. I can only talk from my own experience, but you know, one of my shadow is my abandonment issues. And well, how can that benefit me? There's a lot that comes with that. And I had to really learn how to navigate that to benefit for me. So I'm not like, those abandonment issues makes me an extremely good lover. I'm there, I'm nurturing. I am like, I want to be all up in your shit. Okay. Connected to you and love upon you. But that can also hurt me if I'm too much in that energy. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to explain, that your shadow, you can use it to benefit you. You know, you can utilize it differently. And you're meant to have it. You're meant to have that. You just got to control it, you know, and learn to merge with it. So we have the 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords. There's a lot of pain here. You've been hurt. Hold on, this card is kind of crazy. Let me look at it. You know, your higher self is wanting you to address the pain. You know, you're stuck because you haven't addressed the pain. And I was really talking about, you know, because now I'm just like seeing a lot of these people and they're just like, I don't even know who their names are, but like they're showing me like different people that I've seen like on social media. You know, it's really trendy to be fucking spiritual and to be doing all these things and stuff. But a lot of these people, it's like half-ass shit. You cannot like want to elevate without actually doing the work on yourself and being real. You know, like spirituality is not a costume. You can't, it doesn't look like anything, you know? And so I'm heavily getting that, you know, like, what are they showing me right now? They're kind of like showing me like, even if it's like you want to be this like independent person, you know, and you want to be this independent woman and you know you want to be this like, you know, person that's really independent, can take care of themselves. You have to deal with the pain. You have to deal with the mistreatment and the trauma. You've been hurt deeply. And so there's this energy of like, because I keep hearing like faking it till you make it, and that's just not how this shit works, you know. Especially when we talk about elevation, you can't just get into it for fun, because this shit is not even really fun. I mean, like, yeah, spirituality, there's a lot of fun elements to it. But when we talk about the shadow work and the healing, the trauma, and like addressing the pain and your patterns and your behaviors, you know, that just keep you stuck, it's not fun. It's not pretty. It's not twirling around, you know, and winding your waist, and it's fucking crying. It's looking yourself in the mirror and just like despising yourself, you know, and then getting past that and seeing that the pain, that source is something else. It's not even you. It's somebody else. It's another situation that imprinted on you. Okay. Yeah, this looks like a merging of like a shadow self. And this face looks like the higher self. And you know, when we speak in this term of like higher self, this is like the soul that carries everything. When we talk about the higher self, that is the, like, your soul is living. I'm not going to get too deep. I know I said that these readings are going to get meta, but it's like your soul is having other experiences besides your experience. Okay. And so your higher self is wanting you to like merge. And so why am I mentioning that? It's like, this is like really beginning to study life. This is why I'm saying like this, doing the deep work will take you down rabbit holes. You know, there's no like blueprint to this shit, you know? And so what I'm really hearing is like, because I mentioned the soul having separate other experiences besides your experience, you know? And so it's time to really possibly look into your alternate lives, look into your past lives to understand what you could be doing right now to help yourself. That's one message that's coming in. But also merging with your shadow, right? So let's go into like tapping into these other experiences, because yours is going to get really meta. Okay. So like I said, the soul carries these other experiences that are happening right now as we speak. Like I am tapped in and my soul is experiencing Adrian or ADIE, right? They're also, the soul is also having other experiences that have other identities, okay, that live in different timelines and also different alternate worlds, like the soul is so expansive. And so I'm seeing that one thing that can help you with your journey of processing this pain is shamanic journeying. Do I have this book in here? I probably don't. I don't have any books in here. Well, something that can help you is shamanic journeying, going within and traveling within, visiting these lives, your past lives. Some of you guys could get past live readings done. I don't do them. I don't do that. But maybe you've been called to do that. But also, you know, we have this ancient technology within us. You know, it's ancient. It's the first technology. It's closing your eyes and taking yourself into trance and visiting these other selves, these other lives, to understand why we're experiencing what we're experiencing here, because we do affect, these lives do affect us. These other lives do affect us. I hope I'm not losing you guys. But and also just to see why we're experiencing what we're experiencing. And also a lot of these lives can also help us, like, to understand what we need to do. Like, your future self is an alternate self. Your future self is on a different timeline right now. Let's look at your picture. You're stuck. You feel stagnant. You want to get to this. You want to move forward into this higher timeline, right? That self does exist because you desire it. You wouldn't desire it unless you were already there. So the future self is an alternate self. You can communicate with that self through journeying, shamanic journeying. Shamanic journeying was a big part of my entry into spirituality. And it has been one of the things that have helped me the most with healing myself and understanding myself, understanding life, understanding my experiences. And so I would love to talk more about this on the channel. But look into shamanic journeying and looking into past lives, looking into just like journeying within to understand why certain things have happened to you. Okay, to process the pain, to understand it, and to know how to get up. Because the Ten of Swords often talks about getting up off the floor and walking into that new dawn, into that new, you know, timeline that you want to be in. Having those experiences that you're so tired of seeing everybody else, you know, experiencing them, that you're just left behind. There's a left behind kind of energy, and you're on the floor, really, because you haven't done the work. You're on the floor and you're blaming everybody else. You're blaming everything because, you know what? Yeah, for a long time, I blamed my parents. When you get into, like, you know, when you're mad that you're not having these experiences because, you know, your dad was a drug addict, and there's just certain things that you grew up not knowing and understanding about yourself and about life and about love, about family, you know, or your mom abandoned you, so you don't even really, like, you know, you struggle with shit too, about that kind of shit, you know? And so, oh shit, okay, where is it? Oh, right there. Sorry. But it's like, you got to understand these things, right? And your future self has already figured it out. And you can tap into that future self to understand what you need to do in order to get there. You know, what you need to process, what you need to come to terms with, you know, and journeying and just connecting to your higher self, connecting to your future self, your past self, your child, you know, your inner child. Like, you can do that through journeying. Okay. And let's stop blaming everybody. Why things are happening the way things are happening in your life. It's happening in your life because you've made choices. Choices to not do certain things, choices to be a certain way, to hide certain things, and, you know, victimize yourself. And, you know, it's not even at this point, it's not your parents' fault. Because then you realize when you really go deep into this work, it's like you've always had a choice. You realize that you've always had a choice. Okay. So it's about taking accountability, but you can't have true accountability with hiding shit. Hiding who you are. And you are a dark person too. You're not just this light person that, you know, wants good things to happen and wants to experience good things. You are a person that has experienced some pain. All right. So we have the 8 of Cups. Possibly people walking away from you, or you walking away from someone. With the 8 of Cups, this talks about leaving something that's emotionally disappointing. So this just makes me, hold on. This is 8 of Cups. But why is this giving very much like 7 of Cups? But this is 8 of Cups. I'm gonna have to look in like what this deck looks like, but the imagery is giving very 7 of Cups to me. So it's very confusing. You know, 7 of Cups is very like, I don't know what to do. I'm confused. Should I go here? Should I go here? Like there's a lot of like delusions. You could be very delusional about your life. Somebody could have walked away from you because of this shit that you're not processing. You could have walked away from someone because you're not processing shit. And it's like, you're not really fully understanding it, right? Because it's giving me very much like confused energy, you know? And what are you confused about? You're confused because you don't even really truly know yourself. Like when you don't really go into self and examine why you are the way that you are, like you're not going to really fully know yourself. And you are going to get to this point where you're just like, people are leaving you, or you're walking away and then now you're emotionally disappointed because you walked away, but you made that choice, you know? So your higher self wants you to like recognize, you know, where you're really truly emotionally disappointed in. Are you disappointed in these people, or are you disappointed in self? Because let me tell you, when we broke up and I was a single mother, I was so fucking pissed at him. I was so hurt. But every night I was up in that shadow book, my shadow work journal, journaling out my pain, just journaling everything that, you know, and then you start to really get to know yourself. You understand like, damn, it's not just him. I knew he was a piece of shit. I knew that, like, but I stayed. Why? Why did I stay? If I was so unhappy, I was like realizing all these different things, right? And then I realized, oh, it's because I don't want to be alone. I didn't leave him because, and I allowed all this mistreatment because I didn't want to be alone. You know, so it's like taking the confusion. Let's not be confused about shit. Let's really go deep into like your emotional disappointment. Why are people walking away? Why are you walking away from people? Why are you emotionally disappointed right now? Let's just not say, oh, I'm pissed because this person did this. Well, let's go deeper into like why the person did what they did. Why did you do what you did? Because it's going to bring you back to your pain and it's going to take you to the source. And then you're going to be comfortable with like, okay, yeah, I got a problem being alone. And you know what? I'm going to be alone. And I kept myself alone for 5 years. Celibate. Just by myself, getting to know myself, healing myself, you know? So maybe you have a problem with spending money. Maybe your secret is that you're horrible with money, or you sabotage friendships because you don't trust feminine energy. Maybe your secret, and then like your secret is that like that's your secret. That's your secret. It's the meat and potatoes. It's not everything else. It's the meat and the potatoes. Maybe your secret is that you don't know how to express yourself, so you drink a lot. You don't know how to express yourself emotionally unless you're drunk or high. Maybe your secret is that you're numb. So you got to do all this shit to feel. There's something here that we're not addressing. Okay. So let's go. Let's get into these tea leaves. Let's get into these tea leaves. Okay. We have funnel, period of frustration, lessons to be learned. Yeah, clearly, right? Everything I'm saying. There's lessons. You're learning lessons here. But you got to show up to class. You got to do the homework. You can't just be like, oh, inner child work, I'm going to build a fort. No, go talk to your inner child. You know, I'm going to go build a fort and go play video games. Yeah, but let me tell you, the inner child also has a shadow. We got a shadow baby running wild, scary, wanting to fuck shit up. Okay. And that kid needs to speak. We have a like a little shadow child that's crying, that's lost, not speaking. Like, so it's like, it can't be all these fun things. You got to do the hard shit too. You got to, if you really want to learn, you want to graduate, go on to the next, you got to really do the hard shit. Okay. It says, beware of great pride. It's time to put away that pride, because when I said, like, if somebody would have said that to me, because I'm a person, like, yeah, I was jumping from relationship to relationship, but I'm extremely loyal. You know, I'm like wifey. I want to, like, I'm your wife. You know, I'm committed. So if somebody would have came to me and said, hey, oh, can't you just be single, bitch? I would have got so prideful, like, what? Excuse me? What are you trying to say? You know? So it's time to put away the pride, because everybody can see it. And I'm being a little bit harsh with you because it's necessary. You know? This is not about showing off. You might, you know, because the peacock energy is here. You could be like trying to do all these things. Like I said, like, spirituality don't have a costume. You can look like you come from a magical forest and a fairy. That don't mean shit. It's not about showing off. It's about letting go of pride, letting go of the peacock energy. That's good. We can be in that energy too. That shit makes us feel good to express ourselves, but it's not true. Like, it's not spirituality as a whole. Okay. So it's not about showing off and being prideful. Okay. We have money path. A path with money is waiting for you to find it. So yeah, you might, this timeline that you're really focused on, other people are leaving, you feel left behind, you know, it could be about money, right? It could be, you see people making money, they're starting their businesses, they're leveling up in their career, they're buying homes or whatever. It has something to do with a path of money, and it's waiting for you, but you got to address this shit. It's holding you back. It's weighing you down. It's anchoring you into this timeline. Okay. And so March, let me see. We're recording this in May, right? Something could have happened in March. Something could have happened in March of last year. But what I'm hearing is by March of next year, if you do the work on yourself, you're going to see great changes. If you dedicate yourself, you know, we're in May, so that's like a little bit under a year. You dedicate yourself to really doing deep shadow work, the ugly shit, the painful shit, the shit that don't look like a magical fairy in the forest. Okay? There's demons there, and they're yours. Okay? You got to get down with your own demons and learn how to control them. Those are your bitches. They're meant for you to control. They're not supposed to control you. So if you really do the hard work on self, number 3, you're going to see great changes. make great leaps. You'll probably be out that motherfucker. Because right now you're stuck. You can't get through into the next timeline. And it's just sad. It's devastating. And all you can do is really blame yourself, you know? And it's okay. I had to blame myself when I realized these things about myself. And then when you realize these things, like when I realized, oh, okay, I'm just so quick to like cling to guys, to get into a relationship with them, you know, to commit myself because I want to be loved so bad because of how my childhood was. And so then when I started like talking to guys and, you know, dating them, I could see those things, those traits, my shadow come up. I'd be like, I had to calm down, girl. Calm the fuck down, bitch. We ain't jumping. Okay. And you'll see, you'll have other things, like other characters be summoned within you. You grow. Your identity starts to change. And you'll always carry your demons with you. You're going to always carry those things. They just get more controlled, more tamed. And they listen. They listen to you. You're no longer taking orders from your demons. They're working for you now. Okay. And so by March, you should see big changes. Okay. We have teardrops, great personal sorrow. Oh, sorry. You guys can't even see the cards. Hold on. Great personal sorrow. It's time to cry. And it's time to forgive self. That's where it's going to lead you to forgiving that you played a part in all this. You played a part in all of this. You know, we're here. We're playing a game too. It's not, you know, we're really in control. And yeah, we were misguided, we were hurt. But it's time to be sad. It's time to really, and it has to be real sadness. It has to be like authentic, like, what do I want to say? It's like, let's cry about everything. Maybe this person, this situation, or, you know, these people that have hurt you, you know, it's time to also cry about how you've hurt yourself. Not just cry about them, but like cry about all facets of this situation and all about your pain. Let's get some more cards here. But by March, I feel like you guys can really see some change here. That came out for number 1, I believe. Okay, let's see what this says here. So this one came out for number 1 as well. It says, I slow down and I listen to the guidance that's available to me. Yeah, you gotta slow down. And that inner guidance, the shamanic journeying. And you don't, you know, we all have the ability to travel within and to use this ancient technology and to listen to the guidance there within. Like, we have all the answers. When you get into shamanic journeying, you realize like we have all the answers within us. Like, all the answers to every question. The universe is inside us. We're deeply rooted and connected to this universe more than we know. Okay. And so it's just time to like press pause, honestly, for a whole year and go deep within and listen to the guidance that's available to you. These answers are available to you. Why are you the way that you are? How did you get here? What choices did I make that was fueled by this pain? And how can I start to move now? Those answers all lay within you. You just have to close your eyes, get yourself into a trance, and take yourself deeper into self to answer these questions. And I'm definitely gonna, you know, talk more about this on the channel because it's something that has helped me tremendously with healing myself. Okay. So, but you need to slow down, take some time to listen to your guidance that's happening here. Okay. Right now, appreciation dissolves all blocks to the presence of my super attractive power. Appreciation. Listen, I was just saying this to somebody last night. I was talking about, you know, a betrayal of mine, like being cheated on. And I was like telling her, like, I got to a point when I really started doing the work on myself. I got to the point where I appreciated that it happened to me. And this was like, I think number 2, I was talking about this with number 2, where like you had these lessons that hurt, but they've shaped you to be who you are today. So you have to understand that going deeper into this pain and understanding it and being transparent with yourself, it's going to make you appreciate it. You know, I used to always like, it's going to make you appreciate that these horrible things happen to you. I know that's hard to hear and it's like hard to wrap your mind around, but when you really start diving into this work in a real way, that's where it leads you. You don't want things to, you know, to happen. You wish to happen differently, especially when you arrive at a place where you're just like, okay, look, I'm completely transformed. I'm living the life that I am at. Like, you know, my pain with my parents, with my family, you know, that I've experienced with them has all shaped me to be the person that I am here today, doing what I'm doing here right now with y'all. And I love what I do. Yeah, do I wish I had normal parents? Normal parents? Yeah, I do. But it has shaped me. And I was like telling this person, I was like, you know, I got to a point where I was glad that he cheated on me with that bitch. Because it really opened my eyes. I don't think I would have, like, if he wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have like dived into this work. You know? So you need to start appreciating. Or let me just say it differently. You will begin to appreciate these things. If somebody has walked away from you because of whatever, you're going to appreciate it. You're going to appreciate it because it's going to open you up. Them walking away, you walking away from them, it's going to push you deeper into yourself to understand yourself, and you're going to appreciate it one day. You're going to appreciate everything that has happened to you, you know? And this appreciation helps you attract. So when you begin to even look at this pain as like, oh, I'm happy that this happened to me. You know, I'm happy that it happened to me because I'm different. You'll eventually have this mindset. You will then begin to attract better experiences because you have a more vast awareness of what has happened, what it led to. When I merge with desire, when I merge with my desire with faith, I can take action from a place of peace rather than control. Okay. You have a desire to get there, right? To get to this higher timeline, to have these experiences, whether it be a relationship, to have kids, to get married, to have the job that you want, to make the money that you want, to just be happy, to not be in depression, to not be in anxiety. You know, like, let me tell you, like, man, over this last year, my anxiety is barely there. And I made certain choices these past year or so, hard choices. And I wasn't making them because, again, I didn't want to be truthful about my part in it, why I didn't want to make those decisions, you know? But you have a desire to get to that place, that place, right? Whether that be to be free of depression, of anxiety, right? You have to take action from a place of peace rather than wanting to control everything. You can't control everything. Can't control other people. You know, you couldn't control your parents or the people that cared for you. You can't control your lovers. You can't control your friends. But you have to take action from a place of peace, right? So Like, I feel like you're either being called to recognize yourself. All of you guys are being called to recognize yourself. But there is a sense of like possibly walking away from somebody, or realizing that some of your actions that you're doing, it isn't coming from a place of peace. It's coming from a place of trying to control things, right? And who's in the driver's seat? Probably your shadow, okay? Trying to control shit. And when you do operate in this place of like, okay, well, I'm not gonna let my shadow, like, I realize like the shadow is trying to control shit, and I'm not making these decisions, or I'm making these decisions from a place of like trying to keep things in order, trying to control them, and it's not giving you peace, right? So you got to take action from a place of peace and realize that these behaviors are not peaceful. Like me jumping from a relationship was just to try to control this, like this fear, this pain inside of me, this unease, you know. And so how did I do that? I tried to control the situation by jumping into a situation, you know. And I talked about like having it, like being a person that really suffered from a lot of anxiety. And sure, it comes up, but these decisions that I've made in my you know, I had to make a decision to like kind of exit out of the situation because I realized that it wasn't good for me. I was tired of trying to control the situation, right? And that shadow of being a people pleaser, of wanting to please everyone and not hurt everyone's feelings, that was coming from a place of control, trying to control the situation when I'm not in control of people's feelings. And actually, you know, taking action from a place of peace is saying, I don't like this. This isn't my peace. This situation is, it's not good for me. And because it's not good for me, I'm going to walk away from this situation. I think you could have some people in your life that you need to walk away from that's causing a lot of, you know, like you're just not at peace, you know, which is causing you to be not at peace with self. Okay, so let's get some stickers out here for you. Number 3. But you know, you have a desire to get there, and you know, and you have faith. I feel like you do have faith that, like, you know, I can get there. Because, like, you know, if we look at your picture, you're just like you're just half there because you're half assing it, right? Your head is peeked out, so you're kind of like vicariously seeing everything that everybody else is doing, and you want to be there. You have faith that you can get there, but you got to take action from a place of peace rather than letting your demons control you. Number 3, you got to take action from a place of peace. And peace, you're never at peace if you're hiding secrets about yourself, hiding it. Like, you're never at peace. You know how peaceful it is for me to say, like, yeah, I had a problem with being alone. I just could not stand. I needed a man in my life. I needed to be in a relationship. It gives me so much peace to finally just free myself, to be transparent in that way. Because it opens up space for you to actually do the real work and healing. Now you're accountable. Okay. Am I jumping too fast? Because I know this is my shadow. Is my shadow activated? Now you have accountability. We don't like to say these things about ourselves, but we must. We must be truthful with ourselves in order to change. Okay? So let's look at these little stickers for you, number 3. Ooh. Okay, so we have the BM Hex gang. There's like these powerful witches. They're on bikes, BMX bikes, and they have superpowers. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but one girl has a spell book, and the other girl has lightning, and the other girl is holding a skull. Okay, so What I'm really feeling is that your higher self is wanting to deliver the message to you that if you really start doing the work on yourself, you're going to be pushed towards like a group of people, because this is like giving very much like coven, very much like your clique. You're going to be moved towards people that are really for you, that really want to help you, that really want to that are going to accept you. I think, when you don't accept yourself, you can't find the people that will accept you, So if you really do the work, by March, you'll probably find these people. You're going to find people to actually help you on this journey. You complete me. So you complete me. It's like a Frankenstein. She's like sewing him back together. And this is the thing. People are not, you complete you. That's one of the things that I have learned through a lot of different experiences with my parents, with past lovers, family members. The only person that completes you is you. Nobody can complete you. We share experiences. We learn from each other. We learn about ourselves through interacting with each other. But you are the only one that should complete you. And if you are making people responsible to, of your feelings, of why you are the way that you are, you're kind of like, it's actually really something really horrible to do to somebody, to say like, well, I'm this way because you made me this way, when actually you have played a huge part into how you are and how you've gotten to this, this point in life. And also, I talked a lot about being in a relationship, can't be single. Like, you'll realize this when you allow yourself to be single and to allow yourself to be alone, is that nobody can really complete you. No one can really make you feel whole except yourself. Not even your children. When when you pour into yourself, that's when you feel whole. When you spend time with yourself, And people that are very family oriented, loves being mothers, love being parents, like your children make you feel whole, because playing that role and pouring into your children is kind of like a sense of pouring into yourself, because that's what you like to do. But that's why we have mothers that don't really like to be mothers, and they feel horrible because they got to take care of their kids. So we can't use also like, oh, well, my kids complete me, like my kids make me happy. No, they don't. Everybody does things, and everything that people do, it's because they want to do it. Now, there could be other like influences outside of it, but nobody does anything unless they really want to, unless, it's for them. Like I homeschool my kids for me, because it makes me happy that my kids are not in public schooling. The way I take care of my kids, is for me. So nobody completes you though. Okay. I mean, not get too far off, but nobody completes you but you. And so you got to stand with that. You got to realize that you are the way that you are because of you. We've made decisions. Maybe we weren't woke, we weren't awake, we weren't aware, and we were operating in our pain, operating in our shadow. But now I feel like you number threes, you guys are well aware of why you are the way that you are, but you're hiding it. Okay? You're hiding it. So let's take accountability and know that we are the only ones that make these decisions for ourselves. We are what makes ourselves, and we always have a choice. Okay, we've always had a choice. We've always had a choice. Pumpkin's Revenge. What does this say? Hold on. Halloween's Adventure. And he's carving a pumpkin, and this jack-o'-lantern guy is about to stab him. So I just feel like with this, I'm really getting heavily that there is this energy where I feel like your shadows will take you out. This reading is about your shadow and learning to merge with it. But you can't merge with it unless you're transparent and know, like, okay, this does exist. People probably already know this about me. They probably see it about me. I'm like, because the secret's out. You've been exposed at this point, right? And when you don't let the shadow live, because I said your movie, I think I said your movie was us. It's giving very much us, right? That movie, us, the shadow versions of themselves were down in the basement. They were down in the basement and they were pissed off because they were suppressed down there. They weren't allowed to come up and live. The shadow wants to live. The darkness wants to come out and experience and express themselves. That other version of yourself. You're not meant to kill it. Even at the end of that movie, when she kills her shadow, she actually like absorbs it. She merges with her shadow. And so, but the shadow was trying to kill her. The shadow can kill you though. It can fuck shit up. It can really like take revenge on you because you're not letting me live. You're not letting me express my fucking anger. I'm ready to fucking cuss this person out. I'm ready to fucking like, leave this relationship. But you won't let me. There's shadows that want to express themselves. And when you suppress it, then they come out and they start fucking up your life. So that's what I'm feeling with that. They will come and try to take revenge on you. That's when the shadow becomes fully activated and takes control over your life. Now you're sabotaging relationships. Now you're drinking too much. Shadow don't give a fuck because you suppress the shadow and we're not meant to. Okay. That's how it was fucking up my life. I was just going into relationship. And then it fucked me up. But I didn't want to accept that about myself because I didn't want to accept that I didn't feel loved. That's the thing. You don't want to accept something that's like a feeling that you've been feeling for a really long time. You don't want to accept it, that you feel ugly or you feel like, why do you feel ugly? Why do you feel not worthy? Why do you feel numb? Why do you feel like you shouldn't talk? Why do you feel that way? And then it's like, I don't know. I just feel like the shadow might try to take revenge on you if you don't do something about it. And do you see how this guy, he's just carving the pumpkin? I don't know how well you guys can see it, but he's carving the pumpkin. He's just like, oh yeah, happy. And this motherfucker's about to stab him. And so yeah, like the shadow can really try to take revenge and take you out because they're like, hey, that's why you see these people and they're just like a total hot mess. The shadow has fully taken over. The demons, we all have, when I talk about demons and shadows are the same, and there's levels to this shit. Just like the angelic energy, we have light and angelic energy. We have shadow and we have demon energy. And not one is better or superior than the other. They're equal, different sides of the coin. We cannot operate without it all, without either or. Like this earth, we have light, we have dark on it. And that's why some people are so scared of the darkness because they're scared of their own shit. Okay, so I don't want to get too far off, but is there anything else I want to say? Yeah, they'll take revenge on you. It's time to kind of like be honest and get into shadow work. Get into shadow work heavy. Heavy on it. Okay, number 3. So Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, we got to do these, the OG deck. Your reading is long, number 3. But let me get this, the OG deck, because we're not done yet. So it's like, dang, are we done? Whew. Okay. Let's get into it. Let's see some more messages for you. Yep. Okay. Okay, so we have root. Root. Either the root chakra, that's my root chakra card. Root chakra is the first chakra to develop. It develops in the womb when we're in our womb of our mother. And it is fully developed by the age of 2. And during that time, no other chakras are developed. Okay? They're not activated until 2, then the sacral starts to activate. But the first one is about security, safety, stability. And during that time, what are we learning? What are we learning from the womb to age 2? We are learning about security from our parents, feeling safe, depending on them. We are learning how to trust. And the root chakra is our foundation. So you got to start there. It is our foundation that helps us stack all the other portals of self on it. And this is our stability. This is where we feel stable and rooted. Right now, that's a mess. That's a mess. You're probably having a hard time manifesting what you want. Your finances are probably like, you probably wish them to be better. You don't feel safe in relationships because you didn't feel safe in the first relationships of your life, mom and dad, or your caretakers. You don't feel safe and secure. Your diet's probably fucked up. You're probably not taking care of your body that well, or at least right now you're not. There's a root chakra problem happening. So get into that root chakra work. Start focusing on feeling secure and safe and stable. What can we do for root chakra work? Start exercising. Okay? Any type of exercise that helps and strengthens the root chakra. Pay attention to what you're eating, because those are the first things that we learn when we come into this world. We focus on them to give us love, to give us food, to take care of us, because we're not able to take care of ourselves at that age when the root chakra is developing. So take care of yourself right now, like a child. That's what you need to do. You need to parent yourself. Are you eating correctly? Are you hydrated? Are you getting exercise? Are you going to sleep? Like, it's time to parent yourself. And also, money. Root chakra is money. Okay? Finances. Get your finances in check. All right? Also, root chakra is about stability. It's the foundation. We got to build that foundation. So if you're trying to manifest something, right? If you're trying to manifest something, you need discipline. You need discipline and you need structure. You need to keep going in, even if you're tired. It is the building block of the structure of the chakra system. So do that root chakra work. Okay. I've been wanting to make a chakra video, like messages from your chakra. I really want to do that. Like a series though, like root chakra, pick a card, right? Or, heart chakra, pick a card, like what your heart is needing. I really want to do that for the channel, guys. Okay, so if I don't even know you exist, is that beef? So this is making me feel like you are possibly right now could be distracting yourself with beef that doesn't exist. with people that you possibly just don't even really know. I also feel like, oh, wow, spirit. It's like you don't truly know yourself. So it's like your problems don't even exist. Damn, to you. And it's like a delusion. It's like, that's what it's coming through as. It's like you don't even know who you are. So your problems, that beef that you got with yourself, don't even fucking exist. But it does. But you got to know yourself to understand the problem. That's what it's coming through. We have broken promises. You know, you're hurt because of broken, like a promise. Our parents are supposed to be the ones that take care of us and keep us safe, help us grow. That might not have been your story, you know? So it's time to address the brokenness within. We have people pleaser. So you could be trying to please other people. You've been obviously wanting other people to please you and to take care of you. Like she's stitching this guy back up, you know? And you got to get out of that. You are the main character here. We have the main character card. You are the main character in your life. Stop playing on the sides. It's time to lock in with self, right? And do the real work. That is your message from your higher self, number 3. Okay? Wow. Like really, higher self is coming through for you, number 3. Like you got some work set out for you. But again, March is not that long because I really do feel like, you know, something could have happened in March of this year, which was just like a couple months ago, 1 or 2 months ago, right? And I also feel like something happened last year in March, right? I feel like if you spend time on really diving yourself into this, everything that we spoke about here, okay? I really do feel like you can make great changes in your life. It's going to require you showing up as yourself, okay, as the main character, that you are the main one that's going to change things. You are the main one that's going to heal you. It's nobody's fault. It's nobody's responsibility. At this point, it's nobody's fault, right? Because I feel like a lot of you guys know this shit. A lot of you guys know what the secret is, why you're that way. But you brush it off, you bury it, you get rid of it before really diving into the work. But it's time. And I feel like, you know, if you do it by March, you can make some big changes for you. But I am booking $20 readings. Okay, so if you want to go deeper, I am booking $20 readings. I do this a couple times a year just for people that, you know, need guidance and don't really necessarily have the funds to do it. So check that out, okay? On Stan Store, I'm booking. Description is in, or the link is in the description for the Stan Store to book the $20 readings. This is limited time, okay? This is not going to stick around. I just do this a couple times a year for you guys, okay? But that is it. Ooh, what is that? Ooh, something dropped for you, number 3. The rainbow. Let me show you. The rainbow dropped. I wasn't going to do charms. Spirit told me not to do charms today, but this came out for you, number 3. The rainbow. Your dreams will come true. You will, you know, you will get through there. Get through it. You will drop some of this baggage and get on to the next timeline. Your dreams will come true. The storm is over. God damn it. That is what I want to say with that. The storm is over. Rainbows appear when the storm is cleared. But you got to process what happened in the storm so you can really see the beauty of life has to offer for you. Okay, number 3. But that's the reading. We spent a lot of time here on live. I will see you guys next Thursday. I don't know what we're going to do. I'll put it in the community post, what we're going to do next. I know a lot of you guys wanted to do how to deal with your enemies, but I had, you know, I got to play by the rules. I really wanted to do that today too, as well, you guys. But we'll see what next week is going to be. But I love you guys. Thank you. If you stayed this long, I will see you in the next reading. Peace.